Bring us in, babe.
Welcome to
Coco Caliente. Welcome back to another episode of Coco Caliente. So I want to start today off with, what's it called? Baby bloopers?
Yeah.
Baby blooper. Okay, so the other day, Nicole had to go do something in the morning, so I was watching Baby Arrow, and I had to feed him. And as I'm making the bottle, I hear that he farts, sharts, like he poops himself, like loud. And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of perfect, right? So I can make this bottle, and then I'll change him, and then I'll feed him, and then he'll be good, right? So I go to change him. I have everything off of him, and I also have, as a new parent now learning the ways, I have a diaper right underneath the one that I'm taking off, right? So I can take it off and then put the other one on. Boom, no problem. Right. And we're always putting diaper cream on him so he doesn't get any rashes or anything. So I'm holding his legs up. I'm about to pop open the diaper cream. And then, and his legs are just up in the air, bare butt. And I hear him go, and then he sneezes. And right as he sneezes, he projectile poops on the wall, on the mirror. I think he hit like one of the creams over there. It landed on a bunch of stuff all over the bed. I was like, oh my gosh. And it's just so crazy because until you have a child that's yours, right, and you're in that position, any other time you'd be like, oh my God, that is disgusting. Like, that is so, and it's not that it's like pretty, right? But it's like, that's my baby, right?
Right.
That's mine. That's my thing. So that poop is from my baby, and it's all right. It's fine. We'll just clean it up and it'll be all right. You know what I mean?
Did you laugh, or what would you do?
I laughed. Yeah, I laughed. I was in shock, and then I started laughing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that just came out of you.
He hasn't done that to me yet. But he has like pooped when I've been changing him. But it just went straight onto the changing table. Yeah, no, this is like I think it projectiled. If I measured it out, about 3-4 feet. Oh my god!
Yeah, just like a good pressure.
Yes,
yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I just got those PPTPs, and I was really excited about them, and then I got so many messages saying those don't work. Like they pee so hard. I guess the stream they just go flying. It
lifts it up, really.
So I haven't experienced that yet because he is only 2 months.
Have you used it?
Yeah, I've used it twice.
Oh.
But it doesn't fit like great or anything because it's just kind of like
Baby
sitting.
Arrow's packing.
Oh my gosh. It's just like, it's a very, I guess I thought, oh yeah, this will definitely work. And then trying it, I'm like, yeah, this doesn't seem too reliable. And then I got so many messages that are like, girl, those don't work at all. And I'm like, oh great. Like that they skyrocket off when they start peeing. But
people that are telling you it's probably because they've experienced that.
Oh, totally. So now I'm like, why did I waste my money on these? I was so excited. But I'm still going to try them. Until he hasn't peed with it on yet, so we'll see. So
Nicole right now is on the prowl, on the hunt, and I guess I am too because it benefits both of us. She's looking for an assistant, right? And she's looking for not only like a professional social media type assistant, but also like a personal assistant. So let's say, somebody that can be creative and set up a scene and organize her schedule and do these ads, but also like, oh, we got to pick up these groceries from the store and do all that stuff. Yeah. And it's hard, but it's something that goes to show how far you've come.
That's true.
And how busy you are now as a mother, because before you didn't even think of that as you did,
it was
but
like
it wasn't like a
part-time position that was like, I could do it. Yeah. I don't necessarily need it, but it makes my life easier. Now it's like every day I'm drowning and I'm really close to just like breaking down, which is crazy.
Which somebody asked, what is a day in the life look like for you? Right. So on a day that let's say like on one, I'd say a more normal / busy day where it's like you have ads and you have some errands to run. So what does that look like from start to finish?
Well, I guess I get to bed normally so we can start like the night before. So I'm sleeping probably by midnight for sure, hopefully. And then waking up for a 2 o'clock feeding. and then put Arrow back to sleep, probably like a 4 o'clock feeding.
Wait, rewind that. And you're not going to bed at 12 because you want to go to bed at 12?
No.
Okay, because we try to go to bed. Because I go to bed at 10 to be up at 6 and I'm out, or now at 4:15 I'm gone.
Yeah.
So we try to go to bed at 10.
I try to go to bed at 10. The last couple of days I've been better at it because I've been so exhausted. But, normally for sure by midnight.
Yeah.
And then up at 2, up at 4, up at 6. Up at 8, and then that's when I have to really just like get up because
and start your day.
Arrow's like, hey, I'm ready to like stop sleeping. And Arrow hasn't been sleeping during the day almost like at all. He has some exceptions. Sometimes he does sleep, but most of the times, he probably sleeps like 3 hours total during the day. But I'm up. I'm trying to maybe brush my teeth. I'm trying to go to the bathroom, so I'll put him in the crib. He'll scream because he wants to be held. I'm running. I have to put the dogs out to the bathroom, feed them. I feed the stray cats, which aren't stray because they're my cats.
Feral
and then
cats.
I literally come in. I go number 2 probably, and then I'm back holding Arrow, and I got to change his diaper, get him dressed. And, you can think about maybe grabbing a granola bar. I probably didn't take a sip of water, and I probably didn't eat at this point. And I'm calling my mom. I'm saying, hey, can I bring him over? Can, you watch him for a couple hours because I have to get a bunch in. I got a bunch of collaborations I got to work on today. And she'll say, yeah, you can bring him over. So I drop him off. I got to make sure that I have enough milk pumped. So a lot of time I have to pump right there. Pump right there because I right now I only have enough milk for maybe 3 hours ahead.
Like a feeding or 2.
And so then I drop him off. I come back home. I'm trying to hurry up and, put some makeup on so I can shoot some collabs. And what was I going to say? My mom's calling me. Hey.
By the time you drop them off and you're over here
Yeah.
getting your stuff ready, what time is that, you think?
12:31. And then, she'll might call me and say, hey, you got to come suction him out with the nose Frida, or, hey, he's hungry again, or, hey, this and this. So it's really back and forth. By the time it's 3 o'clock now, and I maybe have gotten one collaboration done with one company. I'm sending back emails. I still have to do my taxes. We're trying to, buy a house. All this stuff is going on. So I'm answering emails in any spare time that I have, answering questions, messages, trying to stay active on my social media because that's my, job. I'm trying to stay real, raw, show the stuff that, that people can relate to. And then, I don't know, the rest of the day is just kind of holding Arrow he likes to be held and trying to get stuff done on my phone while he's feeding on me. Vic comes home. We either have to podcast or I'm hey, I have to do something. Can you hold him for a little bit?
Give you some relief.
Yeah, and that's my whole entire day right now. It's insane. But I have so much that I need to do, so much that I want to do. I have a boutique that I've been working on for a while, but I'm not going to launch now for several months because I want it to be perfect. And so that's been totally on the back burner. Haven't touched that. And
have you gotten any advice from anybody or anything like that saying, how to better manage Arrow in terms of not having to hold them all the time, every second of the day type deal? Has anybody ever said anything? Or?
And I have that. No, not really. I mean, the chiropractor mentioned, the pouch that you can put them in, or a Mobi thing. So I do put them in this carrier pouch and stuff. But
you have a shirt, right?
Yeah, it's a shirt that you can put them in, and I do that. But it's still you have to be careful.
Yeah.
You can't just I usually run around. I'm clumsy as heck, and so it definitely still is not super comfortable because I don't want to hit his head on anything. I don't want to spray.
You can't just be carefree.
I don't want. Yeah, I can't even do my hair. I'm not going to spray hairspray or dry shampoo or anything. Even makeup is kind of hard to do that. So it's very different, but I love it. I love being a mom. I just need to, and it's only been 2 months and I'm working full time. So that's what makes it really difficult.
Yeah. And as time goes on, it'll get easier.
It'll get easier, I think.
But that's why you want that assistant, right? So to be able to, because your mom can watch Arrow, but all those other little things like responding to those emails, right? Setting the schedule. What do you got going on for the day?
And then I also
the errands.
Do Amazon Lives. I do. So I do have a lot on my plate, and it's my choice, but I like that. I guess I still want to feel like me.
Like you have your own thing going on too.
Totally. And I like it, and I enjoy it, and I love being a mom, and I love like my days of just being a mom. So since like having Arrow, I feel like the only days I've been able to just be a mom are the days we went camping. We went camping. I literally had like no service. I had 3 days, and me and Arrow hung out in the camper a ton out by the fire. We had so much fun. Those were my favorite days since Arrow has been born, besides the 2 days in the hospital, because I was just able to just be with him without feeling guilty, right? And then, so if I'm working, I feel guilty I'm not with him. If I'm with him, I feel like, oh my God, like I'm letting all these like companies down, like I'm promising things that I can't like do right now.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of where I'm at, and I know it's all over the place, and I know probably new moms can relate, but I'm thinking, oh, should I not have gone back to work? But really, I think I almost needed to go back to work, but I work from home to feel a little bit sane.
Yeah, and I feel bad sometimes too, because I'm gone at school, and so to help, because I still like Nicole needs her own thing. So my thing is exercising, so I have my sanity, right? So I don't feel like I'm just getting out of shape and being unhealthy. So instead of getting up at 6:30 or 6 o'clock, like 5:45, 6 o'clock every day to go to school, I wake up at 4:15, and then I get out of the house, and then I exercise in the morning. I go to school. I come back, and at 6, I'm Nicole's, whatever she needs, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's helped a lot too. It's not just getting home. It's like, well, I got this other stuff to do. It's like, no, I'm done for the day. But I just.
And it's hard to keep, for me, I'm just being like so honest with you guys. It's really hard for me to keep up with cleaning. It's really hard for me to cook. It's really hard for me to like do those things that are kind of almost expected for women sometimes. And so Victor does do the cooking most of the time since Arrow's been born, because I'm just like, I'll just eat freaking crackers and cheese. I don't care. Like, I'm not going to put that meal before like some other things, for example.
And I will say that I've never expected that of you.
No.
Right. So, because I'm just a tidy person, so I'm cleaning all the time, and I like to cook, actually. So it actually kind of works out.
Well, I remember when Arrow was first born, we fought over one night who's going to cook. I'm like, no, I'm cooking. Like, I need an hour in the kitchen.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Sakara. Feeling your best starts with what you eat. Sakara helps you not only just eat healthy, but truly enjoy it with chef-crafted, plant-rich meals that build a foundation for radiant health.
Along with delicious plant-rich meals, Sakara offers daily wellness essentials like supplements and herbal teas to support your nutrition. Experience their best-selling Metabolism Super Powder and Metabolism Super Bar to control sugar cravings, reduce bloating, boost energy, and reduce fatigue. Sakara has received rave reviews from Vogue, Goop, the New York Times, and more.
And right now, Sakara is offering our listeners 20% off their first order when they go to sakara.com/coco or enter COCO at checkout. That's Sakara, SAKARA.com/coco to get 20% off your first order. Sakara.com/coco.
And then also on top of that, like being, so I'm like thinking, how did people do this back in the day? Because one baby feels like a lot. And so then I'm kind of sitting there thinking, you know what? If social media wasn't a thing, I would want to be popping out another baby right now. Isn't that crazy?
If you weren't working.
Not even just working, if social media wasn't a thing. So what I mean by that is when you have a baby, you feel like you have to put all this extra work and effort into all these things that don't really matter, right? So like
the
even
aesthetics,
your house, their outfits. I mean, I like to dress him cute, whatever, no matter what. But I'm saying just all this extra stuff that if I was living on a farm and no one knew or was keeping tabs on me, I would just be popping these babies out. Like, it's so weird. And it's like, why is social media stopping me from doing what I would do without it? It was like, I got in this really weird, I don't know. Like, do you kind of understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So imagine like your Little House on the Prairie type.
But I get that. So are you also saying that in this farmhouse fantasy, would you be working full time?
No, I'd be a housewife.
Okay. Yeah, and that would make sense, right? Same if I was a house husband, yeah, I can handle it.
So
right?
I guess maybe it's the work aspect.
I think it's the work because it's not just social media. It's regardless or not.
But I still see
there.
myself like milking the cows, taking care of the animals, like that type of thing.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but
Okay.
it's the fact of. But I think the other thing you're talking about is putting it on social media. So with social media and you having a farm, even if you weren't social media, if that wasn't your job, you'd still be putting the farm on just taking pictures of it because you like it, right? Milking the cow and your babies and everything. You'd still be...
Right, but if there was no social media, I wouldn't do that. I would take it for memories, and it would be on probably, it's just like a one-shot wonder, not like, oh, let me get like this really cute image. Like,
yeah.
It's different how social media has changed our lives, and I think about it like when my grandma had 14, 15 children, and she's just minding her business, doing her thing, not showing anybody else what she's doing. That takes a lot of time in your day. Sharing your day takes a lot of time because you have to stop. You have to take out your phone. You have to take the picture. You have to post it. You have to make sure that
That's why I don't even like doing it.
But it's like I like to share it with you and share it with everybody. So I do enjoy that.
It takes a lot out of you.
It just takes a lot of time. Not like
I think
out
it
of
takes
me.
a lot out of you too, energy wise. Takes a lot of energy.
Maybe energy and time, which
Yeah.
is really important, especially when you have a newborn, right? And I never want to like put that before him, and so so sometimes I don't share. Like I'll go days without sharing, but I guess that's just my thought on it. Is my mom was able to have me and my brother. Didn't matter if we were in like just a diaper all day. Nobody's gonna tell you you're a terrible mother or that you're this. You're just. She would just hang out with us all day, and then Dad would come home, and she'd do her thing. And I guess I kind of, fantasize about that world a little bit.
Just being a stay-at-home mom with without sharing. Without the option to share. So if there's the option to share, an option to have social media, I'm always going to choose that. Yeah.
I would need that to like disappear which it never will, disappear for me to be able to live that life that
Maybe
I think
we can
about.
talk to the hacker group Anonymous, and they can shut down all social media platforms.
Yeah, because it's not like I want to lose my social media or I want to lose my job. Like, I love it. But I'm saying I need it to be completely gone for me to not choose it. And that's just like a really weird, deep thought that...
Yeah, and, well, even with when Facebook, when it was all new... When it was all just like brand new, people cared less about the aesthetic of the thing.
Yeah.
More so just sharing that moment.
Yeah.
And in a way where you can reach more people when you share it, like family that's not nearby and you don't have to show them a photo album in person.
There's so many people doing the same thing also. It's so saturated, and it's, I guess if I were to just... Like on my podcast page, I just shared a picture I took of my pizza sauce that me and my mom made yesterday. It's like, okay, like
nobody cares
40
about
likes
your pizza
maybe.
sauce.
Nobody cares, but it's like the work and effort and like the fun time and the day that went into that freaking pizza sauce was so great, so much better than an aesthetically pleasing photo that would have got more likes. Do you get what I'm saying?
It took a lot more work, probably more frustrating to do.
Yeah, and I was just like, hey, I'm going to post this freaking picture of pizza sauce. It's weird how our minds are, what we think that we like, and I think you would actually like the opposite of what you're double tapping.
You know what's funny? It reminds me of like, if you scroll through TikTok and you come across this very organic but hilarious video.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I know exactly what you're going to say.
But then you go to their page, and that's the only video that they have that's like that blew up, that has millions of viewers. And the rest of their stuff is just like them doing funny stuff or not even trying that hard because they're not TikTok famous or anything. They're just putting stuff out there. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And it's like, oh, so you know they were having fun doing that.
Oh,
whatever.
Right,
you
right.
get what I'm saying?
Instead
that's what I think.
I thought you were going to go in the direction of like, then you click on their page and you see all these things that they are trying to be organic, but they're definitely set up because they have like video after video after video, and it's like, okay, that can't be real. And so I hate when you're like second guessing, like, wait, was this planned?
Yeah, you're like, no, that's definitely planned. Yeah, exactly. No, and I'm saying the opposite, right? Because there's just people out there that are just, you know, they just put stuff out there, and then one thing just happens to be like super funny, and everybody, it just catches on like wildfire. And it's like, oh, that's really cool, you know, because you know it's organic. You know they had fun when they put it up. They're not like trying so hard because they're famous for being on social media or whatever, making TikToks, right?
Yeah, my favorite pages on social media are like the people that look like they don't give a crap. I don't know why. That's what I gravitate towards. Why my stuff isn't that, I'm not sure. I hope to maybe get there someday.
It's hard. The thing is, with today's day and age, it's hard to be raw without people just criticizing. That's true. And trying to cancel you or whatever, right?
Yeah,
so
totally.
it's really hard just to be like, I listened to several podcasts, and even comedians have a hard time, and that's their job, right? Their job is to just make fun of everyone and everything and make you laugh, right? Not to make you feel bad. Their job is to make you laugh. And they were saying that like journalists or writers or stuff, they'll literally take like something they said on a set, like a joke, and put it in quotations as something they said.
That's too bad.
And it's like, yeah, you can make anything they say sound terrible if you take it from their comedy bit, right?
Totally.
Not like a press conference or something like that, right? Those are two very completely different things. So it's just the world that we live in is just so crazy right now.
And I see people being super raw and super real. Say, like, for example, postpartum body, okay? If I'm going to be honest with you guys, for the first, like, week or two after having Arrow, I couldn't even like look in the mirror at my stomach. It was like this. I gained 40 pounds. Most of it was in my stomach. I mean, of course, I'm gonna get bigger everywhere, but it just was like a deflated balloon that just. So it like literally was hanging, and I was like, oh my God. And I had a C-section, and I know like that's kind of different too, because you go from having like this, 6 some pound baby to not having anything holding your stomach. So now it's just there. And I couldn't look in the mirror, and I was just like, oh my God, like, I haven't weighed myself still to this day because I'm just not going to focus on the weight or anything. But I was like, oh my gosh, like I felt really like sad about it. And I just had created a baby, and I was like, I didn't do, I don't know. It was hard not to feel down about it. And then I see people posting on social media like their raw postpartum thoughts, and then I see people bouncing back, quote unquote, that's what they called it, in one freaking day, and they look so good. And I think it's just like I'm between. I don't know if I'm ready to like share like my real thoughts and feelings on the postpartum body, but I want to be real, and I definitely am nowhere where I want to be. But it's only been 2 months, and I'm giving myself time. I heard that it takes a year to completely like your stomach and everything to be able to go back to how it is. So in breastfeeding, I'm always hungry. I am not restricting myself at all. But I am trying to eat better and stuff. But at the same time, it's like the body that I had a year ago is nowhere to be found right now. And I look back at photos, and it's hard not to be like, oh my gosh, like, my stomach's flat.
Don't worry, you had a baby, and that's how you're feeling. I didn't have a baby, and that's how I feel. I look back at photos, and I'm like, oh my God, where is that guy?
No, but it's just like hard. It's just really hard, and it's hard not to feel like people are judging.
But you have to also think that that's normal, right? So
it is normal, and that's why I'm sharing it. Yeah. It's because I think a lot of people probably might feel the same way that I'm feeling.
Absolutely.
And so it's not worth it for me to restrict my eating or for me to like get on the scale or do that. It's like, okay, you'd
be torturing yourself.
And so now we got family photos coming up at the end of the month, and I'm like, God, am I going to hate my family photos because I'm not going to like how I look? And I
think you look great.
Yes, Victor, thank you. But it's like how I feel too. Yeah. I just want to feel, I want to have that confidence of, I just had a baby, I don't freaking care. Like I feel good, I'm happy, and I am the happiest I've ever been with Arrow, like in our lives for sure. And so I don't really focus on like my appearance until I literally can't fit into a dress or pants, or I'm not I'm physically not comfortable in the clothes that I used to wear, right? So I just kind of need to take a break, get some new clothes, and not worry about not fitting back into the clothes or not worrying about my stomach not being like it used to. Because honestly, I wore one pieces before having a baby, and now I'm thinking, why the hell did I wear one pieces? like it was I was so small, but now I'm like, yeah.
Well, it's funny. Anybody at any time always looks at an old photo and remembers how they felt at that time when they took that photo, and at that time you're like, oh, I do not like how I look. It's like we're never happy.
Right, that's true.
And
you're
you
so
look back
hard on
and you're
yourself.
like, why am I so stupid? Why did I think I didn't look good?
You're like, what an idiot. Look at me now. No, so long story short is I'm going to share some photos in my journey on my Instagram page of what real life postpartum is and what it feels like, and my thoughts and my feelings on it, especially being scared to be critiqued, and even by my loved ones. Just, I know they never would, but I don't want them to be like, whoa, I wanted them to be, no matter what, like, oh, my dad actually says to my mom that he likes me way more, like, can see happiness in me way more now with gaining a little more weight, even before I was pregnant, like, oh, she seems a lot happier and healthier, and I'm happy, and she's happy, and I can tell like, she has this glow to her, and da-da-da. So I try to keep that stuff in mind, and like I like hearing that type of thing.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's kind of, that was a long spiel.
No, that's good. That's the type of raw, organic stuff that our listeners there like to hear.
And do you have another topic?
No. Go ahead.
Another thing that I thought would be good to talk about today was the relationship between Victor and I, and Victor and our friends, and me and my friends since having a baby.
Just like how everything's kind of changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just been, it's hard to find free time for us.
Totally.
I guess. And then on top of doing already the things that we're doing individually, right? And then so when we're together, it's really just taking care of Arrow.
Right.
And I don't think we're at a point yet where we're just comfortable all right, we're just going to leave them and do our own thing.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Without one of us, No,
I think I think right when having Arrow, like my love for you just like grew so much more. Because we like created this beautiful baby together and everything. And then when we came home, there was times where we both wanted to kill each other because we're just like tired and frustrated. And we did take the advice of, we had that Tina on our podcast, and she told us, like, remember, you're on the same team.
Yeah.
So we would often like, maybe like 2 times we were like, hey, we're on the same team to each other. Yeah, it's
easy to be like, well, I did this and I did, oh no, well, I did this and I did this. Like, well, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We both have our own things, but it's all because of baby Arrow, right?
So, and then now I feel like we're just, with Victor going back to school, we're just overwhelmed. And so we're trying to find that balance where we really don't have time for each other. Like, hardly at all, right? Like we just
like in alone time. You're saying.
Alone time, yeah.
Because we're always together, right? But just with taking care of the baby.
Yeah, so it has changed a lot, but I do think like we talked about doing like date night again. My mom said that she would watch. We do feel comfortable leaving Arrow for like an hour or two for sure.
Yeah,
with my mom and my dad. So I think we might start like a weekly date night. If that's too much, then maybe just monthly date night. But at least something, can't even remember the last time you and I went out to dinner, even like before Arrow was born, I guess. Mm-hmm. And now I could have like a beverage, an alcoholic beverage.
Ooh.
So I would definitely like do that once
every once in a while.
Yeah, I would, because I think that would help me kind of relax. And the only thing I've had in the past like year is half of a Coors Light. But I think that's kind of like how our relationship has changed. Just busy. We do get frustrated with each other. I think that's totally normal. And then now I just feel overwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's, like you said, I think that's a normal thing. A lot of couples see that, right?
It's a huge change. Everything that we knew before is different.
Yeah, flipped upside down. I mean, you can, like I said, and I've said this before, people can try to prepare you for it by telling you, but that just doesn't do it justice. I mean, there's no way you can prepare for that, right? You can just cope and adapt as best as you can when the situation arises, right?
And I think it doesn't help that I am working full-time and that we're moving and you're going to school, like... We have everything.
Everything's happening at once.
Totally. So, yeah, I think it all depends on your personal situation.
Yeah, but at the same, on the same token, though, it's if we're doing it like this when everything's chill, is going to be way. You know what I mean? Like if you can go through a situation at its most difficult, right? Which is juggling like 5 things, and then you're down to 3 things. It's like, or 2 things.
That's how night feedings feel for me. I'm like, this is amateur. Like, oh my gosh, I can wake up like this. Like I rarely, like I'll ask you for a diaper change. Like this morning, 1 diaper change at like 6, and then you were getting up anyway.
Yep.
But like besides that, I'm like, man, I got this. This is so easy. And then I'm like actually up longer than Arrow is. I'm like, that's all you're going to eat, man? I'm like, all right.
Sucker. What a little loser.
So it's so crazy. I'm glad that it was harder at the beginning and now it's getting easier.
Yeah, and that's just how the name of the game, right? As he gets older, some things get easier, some things get harder, but I think in the overall it's a little bit easier. And speaking of the relationships, it's weird, because even our relationship with our friends have changed. I mean, and it's not that I wouldn't say we have a lot of friends up here, just because we keep a lot to ourselves, and the friends that we do have are really close friends, right? So I'd say we have
we're quality over quantity.
Yeah, so I'd say maybe 3 friends that are just couple friends that are just friends.
That are our best friends.
Yeah, but like there's a couple friends but they're family too. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So yeah, I mean it's. The way it's changed with them is, we hang out with them less often, but it's not because we don't want to hang out with them. It's just timing, right?
Well, yeah, because one of our couple friends does have 2 kids. And so now we're relating to them more. When they had kids and we didn't, we kind of like, it felt weird. And like we discussed that with them a little bit. Like, it's just different. We aren't on the same, our mindsets are different. So now that we have kids, we kind of relate to them a little more. And then our best friends are pregnant. So once they're going to deliver soon, I feel like, they're going to be crazy busy for a little bit. But then after that, I feel like we're going to hang out all the time. We already still hang out all the time. I wouldn't say it really affected that relationship much, but I'm saying if they didn't have kids at all, then they'd probably be like, okay, we're annoyed of them.
Well, I guess it hasn't, but it has, because have we hung out with them less?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You know what I mean? Like, hanging out with them is great. I love hanging out with them, but it's just different, right?
Yeah,
I mean, if we have to plan for the baby, right? So if they're coming over, it's like, he has to feed, and Nicole's breastfeeding, and then we got to lay him down after, and we got to try and be quiet, and I have work the next day. You know what? Like everything kind of. Yeah,
it is. It's different. You're right. And even like going out to eat, that's so different because we eat outside only because of.
Yeah, when we go out to eat,
COVID,
it's outside.
But and just like sicknesses in general for Arrow, but I'm eating while he's eating every single time.
Yeah, or we're watching him sleep, and then he'll only sleep for like 20 minutes, maybe half hour, and then he's up, and then we got to get him, and Nicole has to feed him. And
I will say that I feel like having a baby, and I told my mom this the other day, that it has made me, so I was a lot more content with just like really having, I'm very content in my life. Like that's one flaw that I kind of have is I'm content, so I don't really push myself to make new friends, right? Because I don't really care. Like I feel like I have all the people I need surrounding me. I know I have the best people surrounding me. But now that I have Arrow, I kind of feel like I want to like communicate more, network a little more. And I don't know if it's a maternal instinct of me trying to like, do this for him and, try to find out what's going on as far as like programs he can be in, sports that he can be in. I mean, I know he's young, but I'm saying in the future, like, I think that I'm doing this without even realizing I'm doing it and wanting to do it because I'm worried about him.
Well, and inevitably, as he gets older, and let's say he goes to, when he jumpstart or I don't know what you guys call it here, whatever they do. Preschool. Yeah. He's going to make friends. And you're not going to know who the parent is. You meet the parent, and you like them or not, you're going to have a relationship with them, right?
Totally.
So you're going to have to make yourself adapt to people that you would otherwise maybe never meet or, actually hang out with.
Yeah, and I could see us becoming coaches. I could see you becoming a soccer coach. I mean, I would love to be like a basketball coach.
And then you're going to be dealing with a bunch of parents.
Right. And then I could see, definitely helping volunteer stuff for the school.
PTSA.
Wait, what is PTSA?
The parent...
that's PTO here, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Parent-teacher organization?
Parent-teacher-student?
Things I don't know. It's been a while since
Association, Parent Teacher Student Association. I think that's. I don't know. What is PTSA? I think that's what it is.
And then like his coaches and his teachers and his friends. It's definitely
Parent Teacher Student Association.
Okay,
PTSA.
Interesting. But so it's our lives have changed and we're making changes without even realizing we're making changes and. That's within just how I communicate on a day-to-day basis. I feel like I'm more friendly, which I think I'm friendly as it is, but I'm more.
No, you've definitely gotten more friendly. I'm
Victor,
joking.
Maybe not to you then.
I am teasing.
Just like in general, like, stop and talk. Like, hey, how you doing? I'm more interested in people's kids, naturally.
That's something that I've noticed. Before I had Arrow, this is gonna sound mean, but it's really not mean.
Just be honest.
I didn't care to like hold anybody else's aside from like
your nieces
and nephews. I really didn't care to hold somebody else's kids. I didn't want to be, it's just all everything's sticky, kind of smelly, and I don't know. So I was just kind of like, But now anywhere I am. I could be at school. I could be at the store. I see a little kid and I just light up. I just have a big old smile and I just want to watch them. Because they're so curious. They're little kids are such curious little people. Like they're discovering things. Like the other day I saw a TikTok, and this is the cutest thing in the world. This kid, he's a toddler, right? He's not a baby, but he's not. I don't know. Toddler is like that in between, right?
Yeah.
So he's sitting on the bed, and then he's like moving his feet and looking at him move his feet, and then he's like grabs his foot, like whoa, you know what I mean? Like I am moving my foot. I can lift it. I can jiggle it. And he just has this curious like look on his face, like I cannot believe this, right? So I don't know. The little kids just fascinate me now, and they say the funniest things.
Yeah, and I'm glad that it is crazy how that changes you. Like you realize things now when people were saying, like, just wait. And now it's like, okay, yeah, now I totally get it. And now we're the people that are like, you're going to love being a parent. You're just going to just wait until you see them. Because I was honestly annoyed with people that would say, like, just wait for this and this and this. I'm like, okay. And then now I'm like, oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. But I don't like to tell people because I want, like, you can't explain it. So why even, I don't even say it now. I feel like I'm just, like, thinking, all right.
Another thing that it's made me realize is imagine if you had a kid in high school.
What do you mean?
Like, the amount of work that it takes And even as secure as we are financially, I got benefits, you make good money, we both do good, right? And even then for us, it's like, oh my gosh, we have baby, it's chaos, overwhelmed, all this stuff. Like, you imagine doing this when you were 17 years old?
Oh, if we were in high school.
Yeah.
I thought you meant imagine if our kid was in high school. I was like, wait.
No,
what do you mean?
no. I say, imagine going through this whole process without that type of.
Oh yeah. I mean, just the maturity. Mm-hmm. When I had a baby, and I was 29 years old, and I was thinking, I'm too young for this. Several times I'm like, I feel too young for this. I still feel like a baby myself. And it's like, no, Nicole, you're like really old to have kids, and I just can't. I can't phantom. Is that word?
Fathom. Phantom.
I can't fathom being, like you said, I can't even think about being 21.
Yeah.
That would have, because would I have done it? Oh, yeah. You do what you have to do.
Yeah, if you're in that situation,
but
you got no choice.
I just can't believe that people do it, and they do it great, and they could be married at 20 and they already have 5 kids by 27, and I'm like, oh my God, good for you.
You got your shit together.
Totally. And it totally matures you as well, though. It changes, your instincts change. I mean, even I needed 8 hours to function on sleep before, and I was really worried. I was like, oh my gosh, because I'm really cranky if I don't get my sleep, and I cry and I'm emotional, and I'm just like, I get really just terrible when I don't get my sleep. Well, now I feel like I can function on 2 hours fine, because my body knows you got to do it, and I do it fine. So it does your body, for those of you who might still be worried about that, your body changes, and your mind changes, and what you want out of life changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Era will always be the baby that made us parents, and
the next one will be so easy.
Yeah. Okay, so, and also something that changed is I said I wanted to have like 4 kids, and now I think I just want to have 2 kids. So I don't know if I've told you guys that, but I think I'd be so content with just 2 kids, because I just don't know if I can pour this much love into 4 human beings, because it's a lot of work. Like, do I split the love up that many times, or how does that work? Because I'm so worried about Arrow that I was thinking if I had 3 more to worry about, I think I'd go insane. But I don't know if it's easier because they have each other when they grow up and it makes you feel better.
I don't know. I think that's the next step that you learn as a parent when you have the second one, how to navigate that, right? That's something that we're not there yet, so we don't know.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, though, I wasn't just content with 2 before having him.
Yeah.
But now I would be fine with just 2. I'd be so happy, and I'd feel so blessed. And
time to get Nicole with the twins, quadruplets.
Oh, goodness. Could you imagine me? I would be crazy.
Freaking Octomom over here.
Oh, my God. Yeah, people do have 8 kids at once.
I think what is the most?
Oh, yeah, I wanted you to look up the most kids that a woman has ever birthed without having twins, but I know what you mean. You're saying in one shot? How many?
Yeah.
I mean, we've definitely heard of, like, was it like Kate had 8 kids, and that one girl named Kate? I'm not even sure.
Oh, just on a side note, so this guy and his first wife alleged to hold the record for most children as a couple, but it's with twins.
Okay.
Total of 69.
No way.
Yeah. She gave birth to a total of 69 children, 16 pairs of twins, 7 sets of triplets, and 4 sets of quadruplets.
Oh, was that natural or IVF or what?
Oh, no, this was back in like 1725, so it was definitely natural.
Definitely natural. What are the odds to even have 2 sets of twins?
I don't know, but she had a lot of sets of twins.
I'm so curious about that story.
16 pairs of twins. You imagine? I mean, 7 sets of triplets.
Oh my, yes.
4 sets of quadruplets. I just
don't understand how, or how that not how did she even birth that, but how did she get pregnant with all of them? I thought it was kind of, you're just really lucky if you end up with twins.
All right, let me see.
Victor's Googling.
The other one for the single, okay. I think this one happened. Yeah, this one just happened actually. So this woman in South Africa gave birth to 10 babies. at once.
Wow.
I don't even know what that's called, but one shot.
Decagon? Decade means 10. Isn't decagon something with 10 sides? So
I don't know.
Deck something? Did I make that up?
I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea, but that's a lot. That's a 10. Her stomach, look at this. Like you guys are going to have to look up that article, but look at her stomach.
Oh,
it looks fake.
Yeah, that looks fake. That, you know what? It looks like a yoga ball.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah. Dang it. That's crazy. But anyway, well, thank you guys for listening and tuning in with us today. We would love to hear your suggestions for episodes, future episodes, topics, anything that you guys would like to hear us talk about. Or even possible guests that you think that would be positive for you guys to hear, interesting conversations for us to have. Anything that you guys would enjoy. We're taking all suggestions right now. With life being as crazy as it is, sometimes we don't have the minute to sit back and be like, oh, what are we going to talk about today? Which was today, kind of.
Totally.
But it worked out. But thank you guys. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe the easiest ways on Apple Podcasts. You can do it on your phone or online. Tell your friends that you can listen to this anywhere you listen to podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher. And you can always go to www.cococalientepodcast.com. And you can also check out our merchandise there. Please don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Coco Caliente Pod and on Instagram at Coco Caliente Podcast. Thank you.
Thanks.
If you want to be the most interesting person at the cocktail party, well, hop on over and listen to the Brain Candy Podcast.
Our award-winning content will have you laughing while you're learning.
We read all the best articles, books, and studies and keep up with new TV shows, documentaries, and pop culture. And then we cram it all into 2 shows a week.
Conspiracy theories, cannibal rabbits, unsolved mysteries, the history of the Walkman. There's something for everyone.
The Brain Candy Podcast. Find our link in the show notes.
Or simply search for the Brain Candy Podcast on your podcast app.